The first thing we learned about humans was that they always smiled. No matter the battle, no matter the hardship, they smiled. It was unsettling at first, then comforting, until the day they stopped. At first, we thought it was a biological quirk, an involuntary baring of teeth. But no, it was something deeper. Their soldiers grinned as they charged into fire. Their wounded laughed through pain. Even in their darkest moments, when death loomed close, they found humor in the abyss. It was maddening. Among the elder races, fear and rage governed war. Enemies fought with calculation, discipline, or raw hatred. But humans? They joked. A dying Marine, body torn apart by plasma fire, looked at his executioner and said, "That all you got?" Before the end. A pilot, spiraling into a sun, sent his last transmission, "Guess I'll get a tan after all." And we could not comprehend. Diplomats and scholars watched this behavior with fascination. How could they smile through loss? Was it arrogance? Madness? No. It was something far more terrifying. It was defiance. The galaxy learned to fear it. Armies hesitated when facing a grinning human force. No one wanted to be the one to test the limits of their resilience. And yet, for all their reckless courage, they were kind. They fought fiercely but extended hands to fallen foes. They rebuilt worlds they did not destroy. They mourned their dead, but never with despair. They celebrated life, even in death. That was their nature. That was humanity. Until the day we took it from them. We did not understand what we had done at first. It was a necessary action, we thought. A precaution. The humans were too unpredictable, too unbreakable. Some among us feared what they might become if left unchecked. And so, a coalition formed in secret. Plans were drawn. A single, decisive strike. When the first reports came in, we expected resistance. Instead, we heard silence. The humans did not speak. They did not cry. They did not rage. They did not smile. And in that silence, we felt something we had never felt before, not victory, not relief. Dread. Because we had taken the one thing that made them human. And now, we would learn what lay beneath it. We thought they would scream. We thought they would wail, curse, beg for vengeance. That was how war worked. That was how species reacted when faced with annihilation. But humanity simply stopped. Earth burned. Cities turned to dust. Billions of voices went silent in an instant. Those who survived did not weep. They did not cry out. Across their remaining colonies, there was no mourning, no calls for justice. Just an unnatural, suffocating quiet. At first, we mistook it for shock. Surely, they would lash out. Surely, they would retaliate with blind rage, with desperate, reckless fury. But days passed. Then weeks. Then months. And the silence remained. No threats. No negotiations. No promises of retribution. Just the cold, empty stare of a species that had nothing left to lose. Their broadcasts ceased. Their diplomats vanished. Where once they filled the stars with their relentless optimism, there was now only a void. The humans we captured refused to speak. The ones we interrogated did not flinch. Not even under the cruelest of torments. We saw it in their eyes, something inside them had broken. Or perhaps, something had finally woken up. And then, the first message arrived. It was not a declaration. It was not a plea. It was a simple statement, delivered across every channel, in every language, to every race that had conspired against them. You wanted us to stop smiling. You have no idea what you've done. Nothing followed. No further transmissions. No demands. Just that single sentence, lingering in the air like the first breath before a storm. Then they vanished. Entire fleets abandoned their positions. Human worlds went dark. Trade ceased. Their people disappeared into the shadows. For the first time in recorded history, a species did not fight, did not seek revenge, did not attempt to rebuild. They simply withdrew. And in that absence, the galaxy trembled. Because no one knew what would come next. The first attack was not an invasion. It was an execution. A fleet guarding the core world of the Zalnath Imperium, gone. No distress signals, no survivors, no wreckage. Just silence. A week later, the ruling council of the Vaughn Dominion was found dead in their chambers, throats slit with surgical precision. Security footage revealed nothing. They had simply ceased to exist. Then the disappearances began. Generals, admirals, warlords, anyone involved in the strike against humanity vanished without a trace. Armies prepared for retaliation, expecting fleets, expecting rage. But humanity did not come with grand armadas or fiery speeches. They came as ghosts. Entire colonies were found abandoned, their populations missing. Military outposts were reduced to drifting husks. Supply chains crumbled, governments collapsed, and still, no one could say how. The ones who did escape described the same thing: silent figures moving through the dark, striking without warning, without hesitation, without a single word. They did not fight wars. Wars required emotion. Wars required a desire for conquest, for revenge. But humanity had neither. They did not burn cities, they erased them. They did not conquer worlds, they left them lifeless. They did not make demands, they simply made examples. And the worst part? They did not gloat. They did not mock. There was no grim satisfaction, no righteous fury. Just cold, methodical extermination. The humans who once laughed, who once turned even their suffering into defiance, were gone. What remained was something else entirely, something far worse. One by one, the great powers of the galaxy fell. The races that had once feared humanity's laughter now prayed to hear it again. But there was nothing left to say. The smiling species had been silenced. And now, they were returning the favor. It ended as quickly as it began. The last stronghold of the coalition fell without a final stand, without a desperate plea. There was no one left to fight. What remained of the ruling factions surrendered before humanity could reach them, hoping for mercy that would never come. They had not earned it. A captured warlord, once so proud, now knelt before his executioner. He dared to look up, expecting the same empty stare that had haunted him in his nightmares. But what he saw chilled him to the core. A smile. Not the warm, defiant grin humanity was once known for. Not the reckless, hopeful smirk that turned battles in their favor. No, this was something else, something hollow. A mockery of what once was. A reminder of what had been taken. "You wanted our smile back," the human said, voice devoid of warmth. "Here it is. Does it comfort you now?" The warlord did not answer. He could not. The galaxy lay in ruins, its balance shattered. No one dared to speak of what had happened, yet no one could forget. Every race, every species, every survivor carried the same unspoken truth: humanity had won. But they had not returned to what they were. That part of them was gone. And so, the stars remained silent. Trade resumed, treaties were signed, and life moved on. But the laughter that once echoed across the cosmos never returned. Because every living race remembered the day humanity finally lost their smile. And every living race prayed they never saw that day again.